What's up, guys? Got another knife review here for you. This is the Scot Matsuoka Pono. So I'm sure a lot of the names maybe from Scott's knives are maybe of Hawaiian influence, but yeah, Scot Matsuoka Pono. This is a cool knife. Upon doing this knife purchase and trades, the first one that I did, I just reviewed this Matsuoka Shadow, and this knife, there's some issues with it, so I'm going to be sending it back. And so before I did, my friend that was selling me this knife is like, why don't you check out this other Matsuoka if you're interested in it? You can, trade this one in and then just send the Shadow back. And so this Pono, he sent it out. Yeah, it's a really cool folder. Unfortunately, again, it's just not my particular style. So I'm going to be sending this back and actually getting a hinder instead from him. So that being said, just kind of giving a brief little overview of this knife. This kind of shows Matsuoka's work off, and I do want to get his work out there because it's really nice. He does a really good job on his knives, and this one you can see just the nice orange peel and the anodization on here. I think Scott is I mean, he's not new to the knife making world. I've seen his work out there actually for quite some time. So he's been able to establish himself, but there's a couple of issues on this knife that aren't quite up to par with, say, really established makers out there. So but this one, again, you just got the nice orange peel finish all over this knife, and it's really nicely done, all even for the most part, not on the cutout here, but all the way throughout. Polished flats on the sides of the handle. It's a nice, shiny finish. Right here, obviously, you see how this part has been, it's been anodized on this part of the handle, and then he left this part silver here. So hopefully in this lighting you can catch that. And then on the top, he left it blue anodized, or on this side, sorry, blue anodized. And then on the bottom, he left it blue anodized. So that's kind of funky. The fade isn't perfectly even though, so I mean that's another, just in terms of finishing, is one thing to keep an eye out for. This one runs on IKBS. I believe it's also CPM 154 blade steel. I put this knife on Instagram to show off, and you can see some of the scratches, and I don't understand what it was. I don't know if it was from sharpening on an Edge Pro. So that was one comment that I saw that possibly caused those scratches, because it doesn't rub against the frame at all. I mean, it's super smooth. No blade rub at all. Centering is slightly off, but again, it doesn't rub, doesn't touch the frame whatsoever. So this is an incredibly smooth knife from Scott, and I think it's in general it's a pretty attractive knife. Again, not my style, so it's just one that I wouldn't carry that much, but it's got this kind of spear point blade, if you will, with the swedge on top, again running on IKBS. It's got this somewhat large flipper that kind of hangs out here, with the edges are a little bit sharp on here, and but flipping action is incredible. One of the more smooth flippers that I've owned or actually had in my possession. Pocket clip works really well, slides in and out of the pocket very easily. Got this nice lanyard hole as well that strings through the pocket clip. So you got pillar construction here. So I think these are custom made back spacers from Scott. Very thin, kind of hinderish looking back spacers, but much smaller. So and you can kind of see some of the grind lines on there, so you can tell that I think you can tell that they're homemade. I'm assuming that they are. So overall, a well-constructed knife, but yeah, just not one for me. Wanted to put this out there just as a reference on YouTube in terms of, if you guys are looking for Matsuoka knives, in general, I would say they are really nice knives. I think Matsuoka Scott does a really good job on his knives, and if you are, particular to this style, then definitely go for it, because seems like a really nice guy. Some of the grinds on here are a little bit uneven. Right now you can see the swedge on here is slightly larger than over here as it goes down towards the tip. But that's part of that handmade grind, I guess. I mean, you could say that, but you could also maybe say you expect perfect grinds from a custom maker. But say what you will, it's not CNC machine, that's for sure. So anyway, just wanted to show that off. Here's a really quick size comparison. There's my blued out ZT0560. Here's the whale shark with blue screws on here. Here's the standard size comparison to the large Sebenza, and then here's the Hinder 3.5 that I will ultimately get a Sponto instead of the Pono from my friend. So anyway, there's a quick little impressions video of the Scot Matsuoka Pono. So a lot of great knife makers out of Hawaii, and Scott is one of them as well. Alright guys, you guys take care. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next vid. Bye.